So my name is Taylor Jursich, and I am a member of the class of 2017, which we were the Stitches. Yeah, 300 years, I think that was our thing. I am honored to be here with you today as you close this chapter of your life and step into the exciting world of college and life ahead. I hope that in sharing my journey and takeaways from my time as St. Francis, I could provide some guidance or perspective. After graduating high school, I went to Purdue to pursue food sciences degree. I then unexpectedly lost my younger brother and realized I wanted to be in the medical field to help families who endure similar tragedies. 6 months before graduating college, after much prayer, reflection, and much more stress, I realized that God was calling me to become a nurse. I moved to Nashville to pursue a nursing degree and am a proud ICU nurse today. Yeah. I shared this detailed version of my journey to emphasize that it is okay to not know where you see yourself in the future or to change that path. You will be okay. You will end up where God is calling you, as long as you continue to listen to your intuition and trust that God's plan is bigger. I have many fond memories of my time here at St. Francis. Every time I step back on campus, I'm reminded of the many special days I spent there. From homecoming rallies, lunches in Sarah Fort, talking with my favorite teachers in between classes, and the cafeteria rookies. What stands out to me most now is how the teachers and staff genuinely care about our development as individuals, not just what you learned in school. When I was a student, I was so focused on my academic success, how an exam would affect my grade, or how many AP classes I needed to be a competitive college applicant. But looking back now, I appreciate even more the confidence I had to speak up in class and have the cut in. Teachers making academic accommodations for us to go on retreats to grow our faith life, and the bond of sisterhood between my fellow students. I'm grateful for the education I received here, but I'm even more grateful for how this school contributed to making me a well-rounded individual. Looking back to when I was sitting where you are today, there were a lot of unknowns in my life. Even the plans that I thought were known look different now than I had pictured. I didn't know the tragedies I would endure, the path it would take to find my career, and the amazing friendships I would make along the way. How do you prepare for all that will change as you go out into the world? In a lot of ways you can't, but your faith can provide you with tools to navigate those changes. The biggest thing I wish I knew is that God has a path paved just for you. The successes, the mistakes, and the failures that come in this next phase of life are not an accident. They are all part of a divine plan created just for you. Trust that God is guiding your path, and that your job is to listen to that inner voice guiding you to be the truest version of yourself. While your family and St. Francis community will always be there to support you, now is the time for you to build an inner dialogue with God to build a life meant for you. What I wish I knew at the cusp of graduating is that God makes no mistakes over now. I reflect back on the whirlwind of life I've experienced post-high school, and I'm proud of the inner dialogue I have developed with God. That and the 10 milk calls to my mom every day. My hope for all of you is that you grow a confidence in your inner dialogue with God to build the life that is meant for you. One of my most important takeaways from my time at St. Francis is the value of sisterhood. There is a shared bond between alumni that crosses generations and bonds you to the women who walked these halls before you and those who will walk them after you. Every time you cross paths with the St. Francis alumni, there's an unspoken, immediate connection because of the community we share. Beyond the classroom, you have shared vulnerable moments with your fellow classmates on retreat. What stood out to me in these experiences is that we all share similar struggles despite our social groups, academic successes, or interests. As women, we are part of a sisterhood and called to lift one another up so that we all win. As St. Francis women, we are called to be leaders in this mission by seeing one another in the image of God. As the years have gone on, I have built strong connections with alumni that I never thought I would be close with, and have found a comfort in having a St. Francis sister close by whenever I've lived in other states. Building the value of sisterhood has given me so many special friendships because of the foundation time I spent here at St. Francis. Since graduating, I have remained engaged at the St. Francis community through retreat ministry. Mr. Stephen Bolney, who sadly left this earth late last month, is who I have to thank for my continued engagement in St. Francis. He emailed me a few years ago and asked me if I would lead Kairos as an adult leader. After processing the fact that I was old enough to be asked to be an adult leader and questioning where all the time had gone, I gratefully accepted. Mr. Golke gifted me with the opportunity to share my vulnerability with a younger generation of St. Francis girls. I am forever grateful to him for that opportunity. May we all carry his joy-filled servant's heart with each other and this community, and honor all that he was and all that he gave to us. This year, my mom and I led the mother-daughter retreat, which some of you joined us on. Sharing that experience with my mom and then all of you was a memory that I will always cherish. A few months ago, while I was living in Nashville, I was really disconnected from myself. After lots of prayer and reflection, I realized God was calling me to move back to California after almost 8 years away. During that time, I journaled about the person I wanted to be and the things I wanted in my life. Last month, I reopened that journal and read a list of goals I had made for this chapter of my life. I had completely forgotten what I had written, and my jaw dropped when I saw be more involved in St. Francis campus ministry on that list. I had fulfilled this goal by leading the mother-daughter retreat and doing this speech without even relaxing her. Reconnecting with the St. Francis community has been a tool in recentering myself here in California, and I'm so thankful for the opportunities to stay locked. This is yet another example of listening to your inner dialogue with God and trusting He will guide you where you're meant to land. Being an occasional alumni is a gift to yourself as much as it is a gift to the students at St. Francis. Building peer relationships with staff gives you a larger appreciation for all they gave to you when you were a student. I am forever grateful for the teachers and staff who greatly enhanced my St. Francis experience and how they embraced the occult arts every time that I met her on campus. I always feel honored when I get to play a small part in the St. Francis experience with current students. Staying active in this community helps me to continue living the values instilled in me during my time there. As you enter this new phase in your life, I hope you look back on our time with gratitude, recognizing how it enriches your life every day. You are now a tree for life. It is my deepest honor to welcome you all to the 12,000 plus female community of St. Francis Alumni.